It's Friday. Do you know where your IT pros are? We don't. It's Patch and Switch. And now, here they are. Patch and Switch. I am getting the wildest echo.
Oh.
Is it just me? Am I the only one getting an echo? And by the way, I muted and then you muted me again, so I couldn't.
I didn't mute.
Just saying, it was unmuted when I clicked the button.
Hi, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh.
I can't. I don't even know where chat is right now.
Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon.
Oh, there it is. And that's why I had an echo. Okay. Hi, everyone. Apparently, so listen. You have me, and that's really all that matters. But we also have friends in Steve, the audio guy, and Pierre, of course, here. Apparently,
I'm not here
in Mexico.
I'm not here. I'm a poor substitute for a guy with the hat and a beard.
Well, we do have a minimum number of Canadians for the program.
I'm just a quota.
Yes, exactly. Apparently, he's lost in Mexico.
From what I understand, it's second inning, and the Bisons are up by 2.
Oh, there you go. All right, I have to subscribe to that.
So I just have a question. So technically, are we testing in production with a patch
or a switch?
Or a switch?
I don't know. We're doing a show.
Or are we patching the testing and production show?
To make it better?
I don't.
Patch Friday?
I don't know.
I don't know. Bonsai.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning to Dave Nicole, aka the Crush Networks folks. Gregor is here. Hello, good to see you. TRP8472 at his post, as he should be. Nexus Exchange, thanks for the subscription. We appreciate it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And then who else do we have? Kowski's here. And then folks are trickling in. They're trickling in. As they do, and I can't find my YouTube tab. So there's Rick is in the YouTube chat.
Is he?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Rick's in YouTube. Good day to Fair Brit. It's 5:00 there, right? I think.
Yes.
It's beer 30.
It is 5 o'clock.
I'm ready for beer 30 on a Friday, and it is just now 9:03 Pacific time.
Yes.
Pacific. Are we still in
standard time?
We're in standard time, right?
We haven't switched to daylight
time. Yes.
Yeah, we're in standard.
See, that's the thing about GMT. GMT, it never changes.
Right, but they have British summertime time, which goes an hour ahead.
But GMT doesn't change.
No,
UTC doesn't change.
Well, that's universal.
Just saying.
Does it count on Jupiter? Oh wait, Gregor's telling me GMT does change.
There you go. Thank you, Gregor.
Oh, well then now I don't know anything about myself. It's time. Time zones are hard. Time zones are
hard. That's why we have UTC now. It's always UTC, just like it's always DNS.
I thought it was always Pacific time because we're the only time zone that exists.
Well, it is the center of the universe, according to some organizations.
True. That shall remain unnamed? Question mark?
Of course.
Okay.
I like my job.
Fair enough. Have you seen time zones in Australia? They have 15-minute intervals, etc. It's madness. Do they? I didn't think that was Australia.
No, I know Canada has a one time zone that's a half hour ahead.
Okay, what is the story behind the half hour ahead time zone?
It's Newfoundland, so it's the only kind of province that it applies to. And they're not quite far enough away that it's mandates like a whole hour, like every other time zone. But they're far enough that they felt that they needed their own time, so they went with a half hour. I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
They're
Maybe
not quite far enough away for a whole hour
ChatGPT.
where you can literally drive across here in the States. You just, one side of the border is one time zone, the other side is the other. You literally could like step your foot over it, but
and then there's places like Indiana where it's got all sorts of sliced up depending on which county you're in.
True.
And then Arizona that doesn't do daylight savings, so they go
which
from
I'm
mountain...
okay with. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I actually, one of the things that was interesting when I was working with a lot of folks in India was the fact that the whole country basically sat a half hour. They were 2 time zones, so they split it and went the half hour between them.
According to strangequestions.com, when the time zones were adopted in Canada, Newfoundland was a dominion of Great Britain. As a dominion, Newfoundland was considered its own sovereign country and had the power to officially declare its own time zone.
Okay. That's a lot of power to wield.
Newfoundlanders.
That is a lot of power to wield.
Yeah. But why pick a 30-minute time zone as opposed to a full hour?
Well, listen, I mean, as Dave says in chat, Sri Lanka and Nepal are a few other examples that are 45 minutes offset from adjacent time zones.
Yep.
45.
I don't know. Listen, I barely know what time it is right now. Let's forget other time zones.
The only time zones that really affect me these days is Friday nights and Saturday night when we're dropping into DMZ and my teammates are not online because they're in a different time zone.
But when we're just getting started and you're ready to go to bed because it's 2 a.m.
Yes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, good morning. How are we doing, gentlemen? We good?
Doing all right.
I'm trying to subscribe to the. I need to do this when I'm not distracted by hosting a podcast. I'm trying to subscribe to the feed so that I can watch Rick's kid play softball. So yeah.
Maybe we should post that URL in chat for everybody.
Well, it's a $30 fee.
Oh, well, there.
But that's it's for all 6 games this weekend, and then I think there's 8 games next weekend or something. So yeah, it's worth it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting the signals update.
There you go. Gregor says, what tier of mission in DMZ are you on, Pierre?
Rick, Anthony, and I are on tier 3, which we're gonna lose next month or next week when season 2 starts and all of the missions get wiped.
They're doing a wipe.
Everything's wiped. I think the only thing you keep is whatever insured weapon you have.
Nice. Yeah, I know all about wiping and losing everything, aka Tarkov.
AKA Tarkov, yeah.
Yeah, they do that regularly on Tarkov, though.
I mean, semi-regularly. You should expect it, and I think that's kind of the point of DMZ as well, is that they want to bring that mechanic in and continue it where it's, start again.
Yeah.
I believe that is the intent.
Yes. I hear there's a new map in Tarkov.
There is Streets of Tarkov. Yes. Finally. And I've not yet played it.
I was watching a few streamers this week playing it, and it was interesting.
Chad is going nuts about this time zone thing. Another weird example of time zones, the border between Afghanistan and China, they can be different by 3.5 hours.
But that's because, if I'm not mistaken, China is one time zone, the whole country, all on Beijing. So even if you're in the westernmost part, you're on Beijing time zone.
Makes sense. Russia is a big geographic one too, from west to east. Yeah. And add Hawaii.
Yep. Because you have Hawaii, then you have Alaska, then Pacific.
Hawaii,
Central.
Alaska, Pacific, and then you go
Mountain Central.
Yeah, east. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, mountain. We can't forget
just-
about mountain time zone.
I said mountain a couple times.
I didn't.
I'm just tired of going through all of the time zone mechanics every time I need to set up a meeting with my team.
Listen, I don't even want to hear it.
Hey, Pierre, why don't you just use ChatGPT to do it all for you?
Well, actually, speaking of ChatGPT, this entire show is nothing but ChatGPT simulation.
It is. It's a simulation.
The entire show is AI. Like the script, I'm literally reading the script, and it's responding to what's happening in chat, and I just read the script. No? Okay. Too much? Too soon?
Too much. Too soon.
I don't know. Is there ever a too soon for Chat GPT? Okay. Anyway. Hey, let's start the show, shall we?
Wait, there's a show?
Yes, it's 9:11. 9:12 now? 9:11 and 45 seconds according to my Stream Deck. Hey, speaking of Stream Deck, did you see the Teams has a new plugin for the Stream Deck?
Yes, I actually got it before they took it offline.
Wait, they took it offline?
Yeah, they found apparently there's a problem in one of the APIs, so they pulled it to fix the API before they had too many people complaining.
But they brought it back, right? My understanding is it's back online, correct?
Oh, I don't know if it's back. Let me check.
What are thoughts? I have a Stream Deck, but it's not connected to my work PC. It's connected to the gaming PC, which has also control of all the lighting and everything, and then everything else. Gregor says yes, it's back.
Okay.
So I mean,
oh, wait a minute. Wait, there's two. There's one from a company called Vivre Motion, and then there's one from official Microsoft.
yeah, I think we're gonna want the official Microsoft one. I believe that's what we're talking about right now.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I would talk about.
What do we think? Is it worth it? I mean, would you buy? I guess here's the question: would you buy a second Stream Deck just to control your teams?
You mean like a Stream Deck Mini that has only 6 buttons?
Sure.
Because I happen to have a Stream Deck Mini and a Stream Deck Standard.
Well,
So I was thinking of putting the Mini back on my work computer.
What are everybody else's thinking? What is everybody else thinking? Is it that worth it, or should you just click?
From what I understand, though, to get the API access you need, you have to contact somebody in like the administration.
No, you go into your team settings, and it's like deep in the
Okay.
in the settings, and then you basically generate an API key. So
okay, so we can create our own API keys. We don't have to rely on getting it from MS Digital. Got it.
It talks to your client locally. It doesn't talk to like teams across the.
Got it. Yeah. Then I'm a little bit more open. When I read it initially, I read it that you had to contact like an admin to get an API key. I'm like, I'm not going to contact. I'll do it for my personal teams, but not for work teams. But that's changed my mind now.
So Pierre, have you been using it?
I have a little bit, but I have to admit that as it's really well done. Where when you're in a meeting, in a Teams meeting, like all of your icons, like right now, I'm looking at mine, and let's see if I can share this screen.
Mr. Share my stuff. Camera. 400 cameras.
Yeah, I got too many cameras going on here. Wait a minute. Share, present.
You're on the big screen, so hurry up. Come on. Time's a waste.
I'm coming.
So while you're doing that, we'll say hello to Kuzmik. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at. Why is YouTube now showing me a replay of the other show? Did we come offline on YouTube?
No, we're showing us online.
Okay.
Let me double check.
We're online.
Okay. I guess, yeah. All right. Mm-hmm.
I have to admit that the resolution on YouTube is lower than the one on Twitch. I guess we don't have enough subscribers to give it.
Yeah, we don't. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, sorry. Well, you were looking at the the Stream Deck.
Yeah, so if I'm in and I'm going to call Jared just because he's there. You don't have to answer, but as you noticed, the as soon as I
I'm gonna answer that call.
as soon as I created this this meeting, my icons all changed colors.
Yep.
So that's the API talking to Stream Deck. So when you're not in a meeting, none of those buttons do anything. But when
Okay.
really once you get there, like the blurring the background or muting, the only ones that I use is the camera and mic to turn them on and off.
Mhm.
Everything else, like I don't react that much in meetings, and if I were, it wouldn't be that much harder to go into the Teams interface and just click the little button, as opposed to go to my Stream Deck, find the Teams page, then hit the reaction button, which by the time you've done that, the moment has passed.
Yeah.
So,
See, I could totally see having the little 6 button, my little 6 button, with the hang up, mute, and video turn on and off.
yeah.
So,
and
I
forget
use-
the emojis.
So I like the single button things for so like for Discord, right? I'll use it to very easily jump into a channel or jump out of a channel, just so I don't have to go find Discord, do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I am used to having multiple screens on my Stream Deck. I have the forward and back keys on there because there are some I have one for Windows that helps me choose, which monitor profile and so on and so forth. So, and then of course from a sound perspective, I have the ability to open up a panel and very quickly increase or decrease volume from Discord or from Spotify or from all those other things. So I'm used to having icons that are not necessarily used all the time and up all the time, because I'll just hit the button when I need to flip over to it. But I'm very curious about the Teams thing.
Yep.
For friends online, would you I'm curious. I know Stream Deck, a lot more people are using them, not just streamers. Would you pick up a $79? It's $79, right? The minis. Would you pick up a $79 thing to control Teams?
I think it was $79 for the mini.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that much harder just to move my mouse, but I guess if you're multitasking, right?
Yep.
That's where it's ideal.
Here's where it would be ideal for me. If I'm in a Teams call, I would love the buttons to manage the call, like the audio and the camera, while I'm in another app, because sometimes you bury windows or things like that, and it would be.
So wait, the Teams app has to have focus for the Stream Deck to work?
No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Oh.
Whereas I actually had a button on my Stream Deck that was Control-Shift-M, which is the mute button. But the window had to be up for that to work.
Right.
Yeah. So
another random IT guy says multi-app and multi-PC makes it key for him. You use a Stream Deck across multiple PCs? You can't.
You can.
Wait, what?
There are ways to do it across PCs.
Okay, I need to figure this out. Okay, now I'm going to talk. Now I got to talk to young William and figure this out. Lunch today, Bill? Question mark. Teach me something. Because I need to figure this. I mean, because that would be ideal, where I have a panel for one machine and panel for the other, and I could, because this mic works across both my machines, because one, I've got my Go XLR here. The audio out from my desktop PC goes to it, and I can hear everything. But the mic is this is what I love about this microphone is, one side it's XLR, the other side it's USB. It runs both at the same time, so I can use it across multiple PCs.
That's nice.
So, okay,
I'm still getting my I'm still getting my Go XLR set up.
Fair enough. But it's no meeting Friday, and Bill has meetings until 3.
Yes.
Oh, no meeting Friday.
Yep. That happens.
Outstanding work.
I have 2 meetings today, even though my whole day is blocked because I am on call.
Ooh, you're
and
on
I'm not
call.
supposed to have any meetings when I'm on call.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But
Ugh.
Joey, you're mentioning a Stream Deck. I bought the Mark II, so the newer one, but I kept my old one. This is now the one that I use for when I do demos and sessions.
Yeah.
I use there's one link or one plugin that simulates typing. So it adds kind of random millisecond delays in between each letter. So it actually simulates as you're typing. So when I go to demos and I just put my cursor with the mouse, I just put it where it's supposed to do, and then I hit the button that I'm supposed to be typing, so it avoids all of the typos, backspaces, and so on. And it looks and feels like it's a real, like I'm typing, because nobody wants to look at anybody fumbling through a keyboard in the middle of a session. So it makes it looks like it's live, but it's Memorex.
It's Memorex.
It's
Gregor
Memorex.
has a question. Got a Shure SMB7. Any advice on how to make it sound even better? Sounds a little tinny. So, Gregor, couple of things. One, is it connected to a Go XLR or something similar? If not, two, do you have a cloud lifter? Because that could be part of it. And then third is, if it is attached to a Go XLR, you can do some tweaking on the EQ. If not, you would need to get a plugin or some other way to EQ. An SMB7 is actually designed to be a very, very flat signal. So he's got Focusrite and a cloud lifter. So you need to get some EQ on that bad boy, because it is designed to be flat. Now, if you EQ it and nothing's happening, you could have either a bad cloud lifter or a bad microphone. It is supposed to be flat. It's going to sound very flat. And this is where, compressors and EQs help. Mostly EQs, but I like to use compressors because my volume does fluctuate quite a bit when I speak, so I use that. So I assume I'm gonna look here just because it's tech support live on the show. Wait, this is your show, isn't it? Isn't this what you do on testing? And
No, we're now doing beer money.
oh,
Yes.
okay.
We're live doing beer money, helping somebody, friends
right.
and family with their
Right.
techie problems.
Exactly. Okay, so you've got the Focusrite, you've got the Scarlett. So you'll want to look at how you can get a VST plugin for that Scarlett to do an EQ. The SMB7, a lot of times it's very tinny is not the word. I've also heard very boomy, because without an EQ it can be that way. But just slap an EQ on that bad boy. There should be there's a couple of programs out there which you can use equalizers, and there's plenty of free EQ VSTs out there that you can use to help with that. And then Gregor says it's only when using OBS now that I think of it. Okay, so get an EQ on that OBS input that microphone is on, and also make sure that you're only using. There's only one mic that's set default for everything on OBS. That can cause a bunch of issues too, where you keep adding it to different channels and it might pile up on itself. But Camtasia, it sounds okay. Yeah, so in OBS, get an EQ on that, and just double check your settings on it. It could also be not respecting the gain or other things in OBS. You can kind of play with it a little bit.
OBS has a ton of advanced settings in it, and there could be something in there as well. A lot of people forego those settings because.
But Gregor, if you do a quick search, the SMB7 and OBS, a bunch of streamers have done some bits on proper EQ and compression for that bad boy. I love it. It's a fantastic mic. I didn't get it purely because I didn't want to have to get a cloud lifter or something else. Plus, I wanted the USB. And this mic, I'm using the SMB7 pop filter on it because it's better than what comes with this little SM58. SM58, I think, is what it's called. But same quality mic, but I get both USB and XLR. So I didn't want to just limit myself to XLR. But that's I'm a big fan of the SMB7. It's a fantastic microphone. It's just you have to spend some time tweaking it and tweaking it for your voice, because
the Focusrite is notoriously underpowered for the preamp, so you'd have to
Yeah,
put
he's
your
got a
gain
cloud
all the
lifter.
way up.
Yeah, he's got a cloud lifter, so it shouldn't matter. Because that cloud lifter is going to lift that gain for the SMB7s before it goes into the Focusrite. So
True.
yeah. I love the preamp that's in the XLR. I mean, I have the Gux. I don't want to keep promoting them, but I have the XLR Mini, and the preamps in that and in the big boy are really good for mics.
Oh yeah, I will admit that I am lucky that I had done a patch and switch the day before all my stuff got stolen, because I brought in my microphone and my Go XLR, and I had it plugged into a laptop for producing that. And I still have the Go XLR. I just haven't set it up because. Speaking of beer money, did I tell you I figured out the problem with my desktop?
Oh,
yeah, video card. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, because didn't you put like the NVIDIA 220 in it?
No,
so that you're running it on like a 1992 video card with jumpers.
No, it's 1650. It's a 1650.
Oh, okay.
Rick, Rick.
There was a time when the 1650 is what you needed to play Unreal Tournament. Let's be honest.
Let's be clear here. That was a great card at that time.
At the time.
At the time. In my other machines.
Well, Richard let me borrow his 1650, plugged it in, everything's fine. Plugged my 3080 back in, it's all wonky. Contacted their support, talked with them. They're like, yeah, that sounds like another bad 3080. And this time they actually said, you know what? We're going to send you a bracket to put in your case to hold that card because it's so heavy. And
they are very beefy cards.
They are a very beefy card. My response back was, are you sure I can use just a steel bracket, or do I need construction documents to build a concrete flat slab in there to hold the weight?
So it is not you're talking about a 3080, not a 4090. Okay. They're
correct.
That you don't need the construction permit until you get to the 4000 series.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even the 4000 series founders editions are not quite as heavy as like the MSIs or the other one from partner boards that they put in like extra beefy coolers on them, because let's be honest, the 4000 series is they're running a little hot.
Yeah.
a little warm.
The 3080 I have is an EVGA, and it's when it worked, it was a great card, but it's definitely, I noticed it when I was swapping between the 1650 and the 3080 during doing my tests. It sagged so much when I plugged it in.
You have an EVGA 3080, is that what you were saying? So are you now getting a Founders, or?
I'm getting a Founders in response to my original card was a Founders. Then they gave me an EVGA. Then they gave me another EVGA. Now I think I'm getting another Founders back.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because EVGA doesn't make cards anymore.
Right.
News to me. I didn't know. I was not aware of that.
They're out of the video card system, production system.
The relationship with NVIDIA kind of soured, and they decided to fuck it. We're leaving. Oh, sorry.
Wow.
You just can't invite a Canadian on this show.
Well, that does it for another episode of the Patch and Switch program. Swear jar. That's swear jar to the kids.
Yes.
All right. So where were we? We were talking about graphics. Oh, Gregor, one last thing. You mentioned that it sounds great, that your microphone sounds great in Camtasia. The EQ settings that you set in OBS, there it is. Mark gifting a sub for his.
Every time I swear, I have to gift a sub.
There you go, for the kid. There you go. Nice. Anyway, Gregor, for Camtasia, those same EQ settings, if you can get them through Camtasia using the same plugin, once you nail it, once you get it all worked out, those EQ should flow between those two apps, and that mic will sound ideal, as they say. Hey, we skipped an entire segment because we went right to beer money because we were helping Gregor talk about his thing, his microphone is Shure SMB7. But the first thing was from the trenches, the things that we're doing in our work jobs. What Wow, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Tough week as the layoffs continue. Some friends, so wishing them the best. Of course, if you have friends that were affected, reach out to them, care for them, help them. If anybody knows of folks hiring, we've got some amazing friends of ours. If you just have a look on the social medias, but apart from that, I have been working on the adjustment to the plan that I built back when I started in H1, the first half of the fiscal year, as we're now into the second half of the fiscal year, and just kind of tweaking and changing. Is there any fun things that you've been doing, Pierre or Jared, that are of note? I mean, Jared, you're on call, so
Yeah.
you're just going to have to donate like 30 subscriptions just if I even ask you to answer that question. So let's not do that, because don't need it is a family program, sir.
I understand that, but I want to say it's actually been, knock on wood, the week has been okay. I'll put it that way.
Why your
Is that
phone
your
keeps
phone
beeping?
just chirped? That is
My phone
is
keeps
that
chirping because somebody needed a JIT approval.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I'm logging into the machine that I can do. You see me leaning forward. I have to log into this machine to do my JIT approvals on.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But it's been a good week. We actually got some interesting stuff done for one of the systems that I do architecture on, which is we are taking an architecture of every build. It's for our building system that builds our code. And we're taking it from having a command and control for every single stamp of builders to regional builders on AKS. And it's pretty cool stuff with the AKS, because one of the problems we would run into is when we were like needing to reset the command and control, it could take hours sometimes for those machines to respond and reboot. AKS, it's immediate. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, it's gone. It's back.
Gregor asked, will any of you be at MVP Summit? So, Gregor, I will be around. Whether or not they let me into said building for the official events or not is another question, but I can make my way into pretty much all the Microsoft buildings, at least currently with the pass. So my intention is to at least come by and say hello. So
I'm not allowed anywhere near MVPs anymore, it seems like.
I'm encouraged to interact with MVPs. However, I have no travel budget to get to MVP Summit.
Yes. I mean, there is the benefit of me being local. So
yeah,
true.
There is that.
And I am local as well, but I'm just not allowed.
I can probably drag Rick along with me, and we'll probably come and say hello to several friends. I think I'll go talk to some of the security MVP folks. So Blue Hat was this week. Our pal Rod Trent here in town, got a chance to catch up with him and some of the folks over at the Blue Hats. So very interesting topics of discussion for that, but we'll talk more about that at a later time, because currently can't talk about it, but at a later time we'll talk more about that. What have you been working on, Mr. Pierre Roman?
I am about up to here right now in AI.
Are you ChatGPT?
Among other things, because we know that AI, all the things, is a thing right now.
Well, it is, because I'm about ready to go legally change my name to Joey GPT.
Oh, okay. So that means we can ask you any question and you're going to give us wrong answers?
Pretty much, yeah. And if you want the correct answer, you have to train me.
Oh, okay. So that's the caveat.
Yes.
Yeah. No. So and I've seen a lot of tweets out there, and I've seen some community. I wasn't say complaining, but identifying a lack or a product deficiency that we need to address is a better way of saying it.
Fair.
So I'm working with the PowerShell team and other teams on the fact that when you're looking at AI enabled coding things like GitHub Copilot So for PowerShell, and there's a Copilot CLI that's coming. That's also going to be doing some PowerShell stuff. That's the answers of the code that you get are rather mundane. It's like the boilerplate stuff is good. Like, how do you
Yeah.
create a VM? Boom, it gives you the right.
Yeah.
But if you get into anything more
Nuanced.
complex, it goes out the freaking window. And it,
Yeah.
it actually gives you commandlets that don't exist with parameters that it just made up.
No, somebody taught it that at some point. So again, it's about that. So Apsablog at least says the training's always tough bit. And I was joking around about me having to do the learning. And Gregor, yeah. So because it is Microsoft, I'm not changing my name twice. I'm just going to do it one time. If I'm changing my name to Joey GPT, I do it once, and I'm sticking with that at least until like we sunset, right? So, but it is about the learning. Oh, TRP 8472, cool top. So I made this comment before the show started. Pierre is wearing a patch and switch shirt. Jared's wearing a patch and switch shirt. The last few programs I've worn a patch and switch shirt, but I had to show off my new Imperial Navy t-shirt that I got for Christmas because it's kind of awesome.
The only thing that's funny on it is that at the bottom it says Starfleet.
I was going to say that.
So it says Starfleet Core.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Doesn't matter. It still says Starfleet. What?
But but because it is a fleet of Imperial Star Destroyers.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean,
It is what it is.
Hey, so speaking of AI,
Yes.
One of the interesting topics that I've been thinking about is security, but not from the perspective of how do you secure, the APIs and so on and so forth. But you bring up a good point, Pierre, which is the AI learns commands, and learn some of these things. So how do we secure or ensure that the learning that it's getting is proper and it's not giving you something back that, maybe, hey, shoot me a line of code and it's got, credentials in the code potentially, or it's doing things that are not, I don't want to, it's just doing things that don't follow good security hygiene, right?
True. But on the other end, we've been plundering and pillaging the internet for code for decades.
True. Well, yeah, you have to have somebody look at it and go, this makes sense, right?
Exactly. Like, I don't know how many developers will go to what's that website? I'm having a brain fart here.
GitHub? Stack Overflow?
No, Stack Overflow. They go to Stack Overflow, type in a question. Somebody says, yeah, do it this way. Cut, paste, put it in your code. Bob's your uncle. It compiles. We're good. We always, like, if you're going to do that and not have any kind of code review or dang it. If you're not going to have any kind of code review, or if you're going to download some scripts or code from the internet and run it in production, or not in a sandbox that's isolated and not expect some things to go wrong, well,
right. No, I understand that. But remember, a kind of one of the key pieces that folks are using with AI is that, it's reducing friction. And so there are times where it's like, hey, I'm doing this thing. And it's about one of the questions that I have, all this data it's being fed, where's it going? I know that we're going to talk about it with, our stuff as our product gets more and more mature. And we have, Brad Smith put out a great blog post yesterday where he talks about responsible AI and some of those things there. But, a lot of things that are happening that my security brain just pops up and goes, is anybody else concerned that somebody maybe wants to write an abstract for a session for a product that maybe doesn't exist yet? And they maybe just not thinking, put a bunch of stuff in and it comes back out. And now you're like, hey, tell me about this new thing. I don't, maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know.
Well, there's two things. Number one is if you're putting something on the internet now and expecting the AI to regurgitate it, that's not going to work because the model that ChatGPT is trained on was from data set from 2021.
Yeah.
So anything since then has not been learned.
Well, yeah, but don't you feed it information so it can continue to learn?
I'm not quite sure how it's set up for it now.
Okay. And
The other
maybe
thing-
I just need to do more research into the thing, and
so do I.
Yeah.
And so do I.
Yeah.
I
Fair
think the second thing I'm concerned of, and I've heard that from customers, where they're actually blocking ChatGPT into some of their environments because the code that ChatGPT would regurgitate, it learned somewhere. So what happens if a developer asks a question? I need an algorithm to do blah, and ChatGPT kind of spits out the code. You grab it, you put it in, you review it. It's not doing anything malicious. It's got good security hygiene. You put it in your code, you check it in, you compile it, it goes. Now, somebody somewhere looks at code and says, hey, that's my code from my from some GitHub project I was working on. Now, what's the compliance now in terms of
Well, and that's the question mark. Are they feeding it? Like, is it just, here's GitHub, I upload you? I mean, that's insanity. But I mean, it could. I don't know. I guess this is where, Brad Smith's blog again comes into, where is it coming from and all those things? Because from a security perspective, like you can think about this. You can think about, hey, if I was to get an instance of AI together where I could feed it security logs.
Yes.
And then the AI could tell me, hey, here's your top risks based on your logs, where I'm not having to parse them, right? Where, we go back to the days of remember how we used to give advice for IT admins to go in, and the first thing you do in the morning is log in and check out your servers and go look through your event logs to make sure nothing bad happened. Because we all did that every morning, right? We did that every morning, right? All of us?
Yes.
Anyone? Hello? Anyone? Hello?
The FNGs do that.
No. So yeah, and so Crush Network, company named Invisible out there, has gone from 5 people to 500 in 2 years, 125 people a month. Their partners work with ChatGPT. Data is not stale. Company's job is to ensure that the model is updated along with other things. That's very interesting.
Okay. All right.
KT Baker, interesting GPT issue. We had students use ChatGPT to create papers, got caught because they were too good. So again, I saw posts online where somebody actually posted a professor's response that basically showed that there's actually software now that can actually tell you whether or not that paper has been has used AI to create it. I think it was interesting. I was chatting with Rick earlier in the week because he was messing around with it to write his bio again. And and so he puts it in and it spits it out, and then he's like, make it more humorous, and so it does that, and it's like, make it more snarky or less snarky, and that's kind of cool, fun things. And I can see where I am notoriously bad at writing abstracts. I've been through like 4 different classes on writing abstracts. I just suck at it. It's just not something that I like to do. I can see like, okay, putting something in and getting a framework, and then you go in and you wordsmith it a little bit because, okay, I've got the basic framework, and this is not how I speak, so I'm going to change some of those words or some of those other things. But it's very interesting. This whole thing is very intriguing to me, and I want to learn a lot more about like how it's learning and how it's being protected and so on and so forth. But
that was one thing that I noticed a few folks in talking about ChatGPT usage. Was one of the best usage cases for it is first drafts, because it may not have everything correct and it may not be your voice, but at least it's a starting point. Because how many times have we sat there and looked at a blank screen and just gone, I want to write something, but I don't have like the wherewithal to start it.
Yeah. So Crush Networks, Turnitin.com has their own AI model that is comparing assignments, I guess, to ChatGPT. That was on 60 Minutes or CBS Sunday Morning last week. That's cool. And Turnitin is, of course, where making sure that somebody is not reusing other work of somebody else online as far as students are concerned. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. I'm very curious. Wire Connect, I asked ChatGPT about Rick. I'm not sure who Rick Claus specifically is, as the name does not seem to be widely known.
Ouch!
Sorry.
So I wonder how Rick used that to write his bio.
Perhaps it didn't save it, but
I'm just kidding.
wow. Shots fired. Can we put, I want to put that as
Can we just move on?
Yeah. Put that statement on the about page for the Twitch channel.
I have to admit, if I asked about
It would
me,
say worse about me because I've not used it, so it has no idea who the hell I am. So
I asked him about Oren Thomas, and it said the same thing. So
okay, well, apparently it's not learning on. Well, okay, no, somebody's obviously not fed at Facebook or Twitter, right? Or Amazon's book library, because Oren Thomas has only published 787 books this year.
I would be scared if it used Twitter at all. Period.
Yeah, well, that's one way of training an AI to be complete, to be
well.
A complete moron.
So listen, I don't know if you saw this, but in the news there was something about if you gave it certain names of people in finance, that it got information potentially from Reddit. So I don't know if somebody fed at Reddit. I mean, you want to talk about like you thought Twitter was bad. I mean,
it depends on the subreddits. I find Reddit at least somewhat.
Yeah, again, if somebody fed at Reddit, like that's yeah, I don't know. I am speaking completely out of my league, other than I have security concerns. That's I'm just gonna put that out there.
I have compliance concerns, I have security concerns, and I have concerns in general.
I have infrastructure concerns.
It's super cool technology. This is the fun thing. This is what we do, is that we have to go dig into this and we have to go figure it out. And that's what I love about emerging technology. And you know, I hope it's something that's, you know, going to come to fruition, and that's not just a fad, FAD, not FADTY, a fatty, FADDY thing, a fad thing. But, you know,
every technology has two paths: a path to the gutter and a path to innovation. So it don't matter which way we go.
True. Hey, we've done some beer money support on the show. Gregor, have you fixed your mic? Question mark. Because I know that that's what he instantly started doing. He stopped paying attention to the program and he started working on the mic. I guarantee you that that's what Gregor did. I guarantee, because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Have you done any beer money support for your friends, your family's friends, sisters, aunts, pet?
I have. I've been archiving my mom's computer because of situations with her and her health. She's no longer at her apartment.
You've done beer money work for yourself. Speaking,
I've done a lot of beer money work for myself and my family. Yes.
You were talking about you're using a 5G connection to upload.
Oh yes.
How many photos? So first, how many photos are there?
24,000.
And what resolution are they?
They are ranging from 12 meg to 50 meg.
Each.
On
a 5G connection?
Yes.
When did you start it?
Monday.
Is it done yet?
Current statistics are 99%.
Are you using Exploder to do that, or are you using PowerShell?
I'm using Microsoft Azure Storage Explorer, yes.
Okay. Oh, you're using Storage Explorer. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. If this was in Canada, it would cost you an arm and a leg in cell overage, but...
Do you not have unlimited data up there?
Oh, there's no such thing as unlimited. It's unlimited up to a certain point, and then they start throttling your connections.
Yeah. Well, Jared's using a specific 5G connection.
Yes,
it's designed for home use, right? It's not your standard. It's not like he's just plugged in. He's connected via, Bluetooth to his cell phone, right?
Right. I have the hashtag not sponsored, hashtag not an ad, T-Mobile 5G home internet device that I got when I was on the road. I've continued using it here at my apartment because it's awesome.
Nice. Pierre, have you done any beer money?
I have. My dad's got his Facebook account hacked, and we all started getting messages that he was sick and needed money for treatments. And it just so happened that my dad is right now undergoing some cancer treatments, and is actually sick. So people started calling him and offering cash, and so we had to basically send another message to all of his friends and followers saying disregard that was done, and then contact. Then he couldn't change the password because whoever hacked his account changed the password.
Of course.
So we had to get that
blocked
back.
out, right?
Yeah, so locked out. So get it back in. Luckily, he had one device at home that was already logged in, and the hacker or bad guy not smart enough to click the button to say log out of every device. So with that, we were able to kind of go in and change the password back. I got him into a password manager, but I foresee that generating a lot more beer money and
more tech support issues.
More tech support in the future. So that's what was the rest of last week. Oh, and my mother-in-law sent me an article about she was about to invest into this system that was going to make her a millionaire. It's one of those crypto schemes.
Ooh.
And I was able to call her back just in time to say, don't touch that dial.
Which PC manager or what password manager did you end up going with?
One password.
One password. Okay.
Because I have a family plan and I have up to 5, I think.
Yeah.
And I still had one license left, so I gave it to him.
Nice. Yeah. I personally, I'm on the never use pass, and gonna move off of that, and I'm gonna have to change all my passwords because I just don't feel comfortable about what's happened over there. And I think I'm gonna go to Bitwarden for myself.
Well, there you go. So I was doing some beer money support for myself because I was looking to see how do you use a Stream Deck across 2 PCs, and I'm not seeing anything online. So
it may
Bill,
just
if you
be
have
OBS
something,
control. It may just be OBS.
Are you just using it for OBS control? I know you can do that because there's a plugin you can use for that, but
or XLR control too.
Yeah. Well, let me know if you're using a Stream Deck across multiple PCs. All right. Moving to Zero Trust internally and then for family and extended friends. Yeah, Dave. Good call. Good idea. The continuing saga of the sticky laptop keys that we talked about on the last program. I've not yet bothered to take it apart, but we figured a workaround. She wanted a full-size monitor, full-size keyboard, and full-size mouse. So we've used an extra docking station that I have had laying about and got that all set up. And as long as she's at her desk, no sticky space bar. But Absablog and Lily says probably moving to Keeper. I've not heard of that password manager.
That's a new one to me too.
Should investigate in that one there.
A buddy of mine got one where it creates a database encrypted with pretty much the same as all of those passwords where you have this very long kind of master password, except that it's not a service. It keeps the whole database in your OneDrive folder encrypted. So there's no service to be hacked or anything. So any device that has access to OneDrive, I'm trying to find the name of it. If he responds before the end of the show, I'll share it.
I know that KeyPass does that. Yeah, Absablog and Lutely just said that. KeyPass is one that we actually used to use back in the day at one of my jobs. to keep, and we had a shared drive, and that was the team key pass, and then you had your own personal key passes you could open. And this might date how long ago we used it. There was a version for Windows Phone that was awesome.
But you don't use Windows Phone anymore?
I'm sorry, not Windows Phone. Windows Mobile.
Oh. Yeah, you are dating yourself.
Post-its. Yeah, I got post-its on my monitor too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who doesn't? Best place for my post-its is right here under my keyboard. Oh, whoops.
Or in one of those.
Actually
the notebook, right?
Yeah.
I actually got as a gag gift for my birthday one year a book that says, "Here's all my," like the password book, and it's not a joke, but the person bought it for me as a joke because
as you do.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I looked down at the clock and we have 4 minutes left in the show. You need to make sure that you have been submitting your work safe words for the title of next week's program, or sorry, next program in a fortnight's time, which I am not sure if Rick is back. Because I do believe he's gone for quite a while. He's gone for a couple of weeks. But we'll probably have a show, I think. Armin says it all depends on your risk profile. Correct. True.
He is back for the 24th.
Oh, he is back for the 24th, allegedly. So get your work safe words. Head on over to patchandswitch.showbot.tv to submit. You can use the exclamation mark word to submit your words, which will be used for the title of the next program. Final beer money, random spending, final segment of the show. Random spending. Anything, Pierre, random spent lately? Anything fun, anything cool, any gadgetry, any geekery to share with the class?
Yes, I am, and let me see if it's turned on right now. I've bought and I'm kind of testing the Insta360 Link AI powered webcam.
Oh, that's similar to the one that Rick was talking about on the last show, right?
Yes. So what we did is he went with the ObsBot. I went with the Link 360, and the idea is that we can get them to see which one is the best. And right now, mine is a little confused because it's too many inputs or outputs trying to use the camera.
Okay, gotcha.
Because right now, this is what you see.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Absolutely random spending. New password manager for family. Good. Crush Network is Rick and Baja. I don't know where Mexico. There's a softball tournament, and I don't know exactly where it is. Is it Cancun?
No, other coast. Is I think it's close to.
Oh, he's East Coast, right?
He's on West Coast right now.
West Coast. Oh, sorry.
Ensenada? Close to Ensenada?
Let me see. Let's just. I'm just gonna. He's in Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. Yes, that's the one.
I got a small thing.
You have a small thing?
It's a screwdriver.
It's a 21-bit screwdriver.
Oh, there you go. Fancy.
With all the different. So I ended up buying two. I have one here. I have it for larger bits and stuff, but this is all bits for use with electronics. So I bought one to have here at the house, but I also bought one to put in the RV.
Nice.
Very cool.
So the Jayhawk has a screwdriver and the house has one.
Yeah, everybody. You can never have too many multi screwdrivers. Like let's just.
Well, especially the small. This one also has all the not just the normal, but it has the security, like the torch with the hole in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Hopefully you're smarter than me and you didn't get the LTT screwdriver because that thing was expensive.
Mm-hmm. No, this was only like $15.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So I've been doing some beer money support, moving some files off of a couple of old Macintoshes, and have been in the obviously we're going to store some of them in the cloud, but then there's also, you just want to have that physical archive capability, and just like looking at, oh, do we do an SSD drive? Do we go with a spinny USB disk? Question mark. So yeah, that whole game and fun. And then I'm still in the, so right now the iPad mini is on sale, as is the pencil. And to the point where I can save almost $200 between, or 150, 160 bucks or something between getting both devices, because I am looking for that ultimate device to take notes while I'm sitting at my desk, but also I use the mini when I travel a lot, like watching videos, so on and so forth. And I'm, man, you gotta say something to be said, because I was looking at the Mini 6 and I was gonna do it, and then I was like, oh, I need to. Now I was like, okay, maybe I should look at the Air iPad Pro, because it's only $100 more and you get more power. But then I went down that rat hole, and now I'm lost again. So I haven't. So I'm not gonna make a decision.
Dave, by the way, pointed out you could put it by the desk.
Desk. The throne?
The desk.
The throne, yes.
The throne. All right. So I'm going to continue down that. And if you have more advice for me on the iPad saga, hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Joey Snow. Otherwise, we've come to the end of another Patch and Switch program.
Shall we do some naming?
It's over.
It's
the
over?
show's done. The top of the hour has arrived. The top of the hour has arrived. And so people have to go do work.
Okay.
So thanks everybody for joining us on the program. Armin, thank you for joining us. Dave, good to see you. Fuel jumping in, saying, I say worlds colliding? Question mark. Absolutely in the house. Let's see who else. Vizio MVP, good to see you. Did I say hello to you? If not, I apologize. Another random IT guy. We're gonna catch up later. Tarkov? Question mark. KT Baker 77. Gregor, good to see you. Gregor's ignoring us.
He's checking his microphone.
He's fixing his microphone. He never responded if he was actually doing anything. TRP 8472, who had to leave, but shout out to you. Who else? Did I miss anybody else? Did we got everybody? The Ferris of Brits. Yes, exactly. Jan has been in the house as well. Kowski, everybody else. We're back in 2 weeks' time. Until then, have a weekend, everybody.